an ongoing saga of remakes and remasters. Eventually, an old IP will see from afar and want to get on the action like Lester the Molester spying on Amanda from across the street. But the million-dollar question is, does Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster follow the same pace as its original predecessor? Well, the answer is both yes and no. For me, it's 2 steps forward and sometimes 2 steps back. It feels like a combination of a remake and a remaster, however it does miss in some areas. The game follows the same plot as the last one completely, as you play as Frank West, a persistent war photojournalist who finds himself in a zombie-infested town, Willamette, Colorado, where he is also stuck in a zombie-infested mall called Willamette Mall, riddled with all sorts of psychopaths. There's also a crazy terrorist and DHS agents involved. Frank West has 3 days to uncover the secrets of the zombie virus and get all the facts or the truth could fade into the darkness. The plot is almost entirely the same with different voices and some dialogue choices, which is due to the most fucking retarded censorship I've seen in a video game remake or remaster, honestly. I'll get to that. I'll dive in, but you're gonna hear me bring up censorship a lot in this review because it's that major flaw that brings it from hitting a high score. It's not a bad game. However, the developers need to stop listening to companies like Sweet Baby Inc. and IGN because they're not the ones that buy the games, as well as modern audiences that doesn't exist. Moving on. The characters, they've seen a few tweaks. Frank West is now looks a little older. Despite being 36, he looks like he's pushing 50. And carries a lot more weight on him. And also, like I said, he just looks a little bit more bulky in the first game. As for the voice, it does feel different, and I prefer the original actor, but the actor, he does put in work. The new actor, he ain't no pushover. Well, you're moving on to Brad. His parents doesn't seem too messed with. His voice is a bit of a step back. He sounds less serious and younger and a bit more whiny. Jessie does look a little younger, but her parents sound a little younger, but her parents remains the same. Carlito looks more pretty boyish in this game. In the OG game, I first seen Carlito, he had dark circles, bloodshot eyes, and he had a tough glare letting you know something was up with him. This one, he seems way too clean. Isabella and Dr. Barnaby are the only ones that seem like they kept everything to stay consistent with. As for the other NPCs and psychopaths, they seem improvements with letting them actually speak and skipping over dialogue. It all helps with Otis when he calls you because it is annoying. However, censorship comes into play because certain dialogue gets removed, but I'll get into that with the NPCs and all that later. The game's graphics improves upon its predecessor, and it doesn't look like a top-notch 2024 game, but that's okay. Because it does show care was put into a lot of areas. For example, facial animations make the characters look more alive and less static compared to the, Dead Rising, regular eyebrow phases, regular mouth, moving and everything. Also, the characters have been toned down a bit, and does help with the lighting with the horror aspect. And the animations have been improved as well. And it helps with the gameplay significantly. And the fingers, they now actually move. Frank West's fingers aren't just in one position, like when he's holding his camera or something like that. It moves on their own. However, a few textures and constant pop-ins do make the game look a little dated and funny, but I would say it is decent. Although I do prefer the old colors, it still has that cartoonish look to it, which is good because this game is kind of cartoonish. It's not supposed to be all realistic, so I'll give them a pass on that. Dead Rising is a blast to play still, and now this time around it feels less of a chore, to be honest. Gameplay mechanics as well as the controls have been improved. It helps with boss fights tremendously because psychopaths would still bring a challenge to OG players, they would. But I found myself breezing through it, even though there was trial and error. I still was able to get back. Well, especially with the snipers, they were annoying. But the first time around with, Adam the Clown, but I got in there. And the bosses do have a few new things, but the healing, yeah, I don't like that because it does add to the annoyance because I already went through the trouble of bringing their health down. So why the hell are you having them heal? I hate it when games do that. As for the combat, it's pretty much the same, but it's a lot smoother. Everything can be used as a weapon. It can lead to some gory results. I'm talking sledgehammers, guitars, baseball bats, chainsaws, little lipstick, little statues, benches, you name it, they can do it. You could also change your clothes around it or whatever. Unlock rewards, I'll get to that later. Or, pay $10 extra for a lot of costumes. I actually thought that was good or whatever. Also get a little touch up. Eat food. It's like a mall. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. But you got to keep in mind, you got to watch your time. I would say, okay, but one step back would be the gore. It feels a little toned down. His clothes, nor does Frank get blood on his clothes or anything like that. There's also cultists to fight and later soldiers. The cultists aren't so bad because they can be easily avoided. If you get grabbed up by them, yeah, that was on you. But the soldiers are very ruthless, especially when you're going on a run to get the items for the Zombrax vaccine. I highly suggest you use the maintenance tunnel key to access other sides of the mall when they arrive. Yeah, because you're not going to have a good time. Alright, maybe the maintenance tunnels may be riddled with zombies, but it's a lot easier to get around. And they have cars down there. Finding shortcuts throughout the mall to get around is also helpful to avoid in Egypt Park due to the prisoners. So I highly suggest you get rid of Adam the Clown and save that guy, security guard. He could help you. He could help you get back and forth, and you would never have to go through Leisure Park again. I mean, honestly, it's so much easier. The zombies still can be annoying because they latch onto you, especially when swinging, but they're easy to get rid of. It's just a pain in the ass, when you're on a run and they still hit you. Let's see what else. Okay, upgrades are still a thing, and they're easy to obtain just by rescuing, taking great pictures, defeating psychopaths. That helps. It all helps. It all helps on you. You just gotta keep it going. Okay, I would say another improvement would be auto-saving and the fast forward features. That really helped too. Auto-saving. So, because one thing about Dead Rising is you're probably gonna die a lot if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, if you died in the original game, if you didn't save in a bathroom, or if you didn't save at all at the security gun, well, too fucking bad. You're gonna have to start again. Too fucking bad. You're gonna have to start the fuck again. But in this remaster, whatever the fuck it is, every time you go through a door, it's another section of the mall, it'll save. And I do like that, although there's loading screens, but it is a blend of a remake and a remaster, so I'll give them a pass on that. Okay, so the timer still can be a pain in the ass. I mean, I wish it was removed, but, it's Dead Rising. Hey, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Just, manage your time right, and just, I guess, think, what is more important, you getting to that mission or saving that person who doesn't want to comply? And moving on to the NPCs, and AI, really, overall, NPCs, AI, partner, and all that, I guess, they can be a little stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, still, not as dumb as the, original ones, but they can be dumb. You constantly do have to come back for them. They don't really keep up. They should have improved with that. Not to mention, it's easy to fool bosses. They can get stuck on objects, and it's easy to like, well, get rid of. Not get rid of, my bad. It's easy to like kill them. It's easy to like kill them, but nonetheless they could kill you quickly if you're not careful, so don't be too cocky. But yeah, like I said, they should have improved especially the rescuer AI or whatever, because they'll just run into zombies and I gotta keep pressing the B button to make sure they are not falling behind or whatever, because they'll sit here and just try hitting zombies instead of going to the point. But one thing I would say that they did improve upon was, for enemy, like giving a ramp to the security room that helps them come up instead of climbing up, because some would used to get stuck there. It didn't make any sense, but at least they did that. So yeah, the missions, like I mentioned the timer, you gotta get to a certain area at a certain time, so be responsive. Just think, maybe not all the time it's not worth it, I guess, getting that person, rescuing that person, if they're giving you a hard time, if you got to get back to the security room, because you're gonna fail the game. And I hope you got a decent save. But anyway, I guess we could talk about the censorship. Now, the censorship, yeah, look, for me, wouldn't be that bad, but like, look, you guys took away erotic pictures, took away some dialogue, took away some scenes away, like, even like, I forgot his name, the soldier's name. Instead of saying Viet Cong, he says communist Viet Cong or something. He says a mole. Like, what the fuck is you guys doing? Like, that just, for me, that brings out the score tremendously, because you're feeding into fucking nonsense, to be honest. Yeah, honestly, I just don't know what they were thinking. Like, it's just a list of censorship, and it led to people review bombing the game on Metacritic, honestly. And I don't like review bombing, but at this point, you guys are doing it to yourselves. So yeah, but anyway, I said my piece on that. Let's move on to the music, I guess. So the music remains basically the same. Some areas, music has been changed sometimes, and if you do get like the extra add-ons, like with a few things like such as the Resident Evil outfit, you can hear like some, as you progress through the mall, the tune will like change. Like, the music will change to like those Resident Evil safe room aesthetics. I do like that touch. The music, sound effects, well, the sound effects are alright, I guess, but they've all been, they all are still great. I can't say improved, they're just great. As for the polish, optimization, the game, sometimes it runs like shit. I'm not gonna lie. It does run like shit sometimes. Sometimes it's good, it's decent, but it's, could use some work. And not to mention, I did run into one weird ass glitch where I was doing progression. I impressed the guy or whatever, who had this camera, this weird photojournalist. And I went in, stepped out, and then a cutscene played where I didn't make the cut. That basically means you failed the mission before that cutscene. I met, like, you impressed him. So basically that's the game. That it did some, I don't know how to explain it, but it did some weird glitch where I passed the mission and I had enough time to get the photos, but they didn't give me a chance to get them. Like, I don't understand that. So yeah, there's that. But let's wrap it up. Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered Edition is a good blend of a remaster and a remake. Now that it's somewhat revived, I would like to see new installments and take it back to its roots. However, the cut content, the censorship, and the weird glitch that affected my progress brought the score down. So So I'm gonna unfortunately have to, well, it's not unfortunate, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. No, I wanted to give it an 8, but yeah, you know, you need to stop, like I said earlier, selling out to journalists. It does not make any fucking sense. You're just doubling back, and you know, just need to, like I said, and also optimize your games better. But nonetheless, it is a good game, and I suggest everybody play it. In the meantime, this has been Eastside Rage signing out. Keep raging out. I'll catch you on the next stream.